What's up, all you stars and studs? This is WWE Diva Maria Kanellis, and you are listening to WNS Podcast.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 331 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNSvideo, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can find us on Stitcher, BeyondPod, Player.fm, and Satchel. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find it.
You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel, and Tyler is at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. So welcome to the show. We've got a lot to cover, and feedback, Great Balls of Fire review. You'll have to excuse me. I'm extremely exhausted. I had a very long day today. I had to be at work at 4:30. Had to wake up at 3:30 this morning, and haven't stopped since. So if I don't sound very energetic, I apologize. I've got some soda, so maybe it'll give me a little caffeine fix.
You should drink 5-hour energy shots to have 25 hours of continuous energy.
Nope. Don't need to do that. My kidneys will thank you for not doing that. But we are going to talk about Great Balls of Fire. We are going to talk about Raw, SmackDown, some hot topics, all that good stuff, and more. How you guys doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah? Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Doug?
Doug, how are you doing?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
Cool. Glad to hear it. So, Tyler, you're looking like you got... Okay.
I'm pumped about.
Yeah?
One was probably on the hot topics, so I'm just going to say it.
Let's just do it.
WWE 2K18 is coming to the Switch.
It is.
Which is really, really cool.
Yes. It's officially announced. I know it was speculated for a while and rumors galore, but it is now officially confirmed.
About like graphics or gameplay that's out yet.
No, that'll probably be closer to SummerSlam before we see any of that.
How the gameplay is going to be. Like whenever the stuff came out for was it 360 and PS3, no one wanted it on the Wii. No one wanted to play it on the Wii. Or if someone got it, it wasn't as good as the others.
I owned it on the Wii, sir. It was the year that they featured the WCW stars.
I mean,
not WCW, ECW.
We played it, but it wasn't good as the other. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be really cool. And Kurt Angle's the pre-order bonus. I think I said last week. But
what did you think of that? Okay, so they did the Seth Rollins trailer where he goes in and wrecks shop all over the place. So the pre-order bonus announcement being Kurt Angle is mysterious figure going to the remains of the shop and presumably getting pretty pissed off about it, and turned out to be Kurt Angle. So what did you think of the trailer?
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's cool. It's going to be part of it, but I wasn't like, oh, this is so cool. Because it's not showing gameplay or anything. It's just.
Well, yeah. It's a teaser to get you hyped and all that. So
I'm already hyped.
Yeah. Get hyped. He ain't hyped. So, was there other news that you had?
Yeah, but it has nothing pertaining to wrestling.
Well, let's do it.
Okay. Man, that conference yesterday with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That stupid trash talking they were doing, I was for it. Man.
Who do you think, in just your opinion, you don't have to go into explicit details or anything like that, but of the two, who talked the better game?
McGregor.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. Man, that suit that he had, that,
the pinstripe.
Did you hear about the pinstripe
suit,
Doug?
I saw a picture of it.
I thought he was joking at first because I didn't zoom in. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Okay, it says fuck you. I get it, whatever. And then I was like, oh, that's a real thing. Oh, okay. But I don't know. I like how he called Mayweather out on when Mayweather was talking, it was like, man, we'll go to the octagon. And he goes, don't say that shit because you know you're not going to the octagon. You said it before. You're not going to the octagon. But no, man, both of them got me pumped.
Yeah.
I guess Mayweather had some catchphrases when he first started talking. I never heard them.
It was something to do with the crowd, which I didn't.
Yeah, where's the easy
I wasn't
work
able to
and the
catch
points
or
and
something.
McGregor
Yeah.
There's one thing he said that which can be taken a different way. He says he's going to get off in that ass. Well, I'd
Phrasing.
yeah. I was like, what? What sex? I don't know.
I don't think it means butt sex in this particular instance. No.
But no, I'm pumped for both of them. They hit their points and they actually comment. Not comment. They all, it takes two to put
collaborated.
They collaborated together, and they both said that, and they took time to.
I mean, they're putting on a show.
Yeah, they are putting on a show.
That's what they're both known for.
And I also watched the other part where the press conference, an individual fighter and stuff. Man.
I think you're getting a little hyped for this fight.
I don't know, man. I am now.
About it.
Mayweather Senior was giving McGregor hell the whole time in the back. The whole time people were trying to say questions, and he was just talking to him, and it was just trash talking the whole time. It was good stuff, man. It's like two guys just talking shit. And
yeah,
I like it.
Doug, what's your take on the whole McGregor Mayweather fight so far?
I don't know what you mean.
Did you watch the press conference or
no,
the
I
confrontation?
didn't have time.
Like
I saw highlights, and I saw the face off with McGregor dancing, and I saw a couple of quips back and forth and whatnot, but I didn't see it, the whole thing.
Mayweather said he goes, I'm the A fighter, and this bitch over here has to come to the boxing ring. I think that's how he said it. I'm the A fighter because my name goes first or something like that. I don't know.
It's all about phrasing, I guess. Are you hyped for the match at all, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's a good time. I don't think it's gonna be uber competitive or anything, but I think that it's fun to follow along and hear dudes run their mouths and shit. Yeah, it's all in good fun for me. I'm cool with it. And they're gonna make a lot of money, and good on them. Let them make their money, but I don't think I don't think a lot of people are taking it super seriously. Like this is gonna be like an outcome is that in jeopardy or something.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of knows the outcome already.
Well, I don't know. I think there
are a lot of speculation as far as what the outcome will be.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think that
Has Floyd ever knocked someone out?
Yes.
Hey, he's not necessarily known for that, but he has. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you think? I don't know. I consider myself. I like MMA. I like boxing, but I would, if I compare it to how I follow wrestling, I would have to say I'm definitely a more casual mixed martial arts and boxing fan than I am a wrestling fan, just because
special attractions and.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will watch cards that aren't quote unquote like drawing cards. It's just that for whatever reason, time or whatever it may be, I would consider myself a more casual, just because I know a lot less about that than I know about wrestling, and but I don't know. I don't think the general public. I mean, I don't know that the general public thinks it's not competitive, though. I mean, I don't think that it's as known to the general public that it's not going to be it's not necessarily all that fair of a fight or anything. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what the general consensus is.
In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, people are more than welcome to disagree. I feel obviously. It's in favor of Mayweather because it's a boxing match, and he's one of the, best in the world.
Sure.
He's known for being very defensive, very elusive. So, as long as he can maintain that game, then he'll run the card like he has his past previous fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's like undefeated. I mean,
undefeated for a reason.
I'm wondering about the contract that they signed because a lot of people are talking about what if, Mayweather, kind of, bests McGregor, but McGregor gets pissed off and, what if he kicks or throws an elbow?
Part of me kind of hopes that happens.
Well, he goes, I know he's talking shit.
He gets DQ'd and he loses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what is...
or like, no, dude, just take a point. I'm okay with you taking a point.
McGregor, he was pissing off Senior, man. He was saying, yeah, your son better give me respect or, walk into the ring, I may put an elbow in his head.
Yeah. If the fight is not going McGregor's way by the final round, I could totally expect something like that to happen.
But I don't know if it's like, hey, if you get disqualified, you lose a lot of money, or how does that work? Or you still get money no matter what? I mean, I don't know how that works.
I think they both.
If they penalize him.
I think no matter the outcome, they're both making more money than I'll ever see in my entire life.
That's true.
But
he's 28 years old.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's speculation that the reason why he's doing it is so he can walk away from MMA altogether.
Well, he says he wants to go back in UFC and fight.
Yeah, it's hard to fight for $10 million after you just fought for $100 million.
Yeah. Once you've kind of secured your life forever,
and he's also he has other business ventures, like he's doing stuff with clothes, he has a clothing line, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
That suit that he wore is going to be available.
Like,
to me, I viewed it as a cash out. Like he's sort of like cashing
This is his
out.
way to. Okay, I got my money.
I'm not saying he won't fight in the UFC again. I just think this is his big cash out.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
Like he's at the height of his popularity. There is no bigger fight that he could get on the planet, and there is no bigger amount that he's going to get to fight on the planet.
No bigger payday.
So this is it. This is him putting all his chips on the table and saying, "Let's make the fucking money while I can make the fucking money."
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much he's got to pay in taxes.
And plus, he hasn't put. I mean, he's lost, but he hasn't put himself in a position to be to where people doubt his credibility or whatever.
Yeah, and he has other business ventures. I bet he may invest money too on different things.
Sure.
So that's what you got to do,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like this is his way to get out of the business.
As much as trash talk, he's appreciative of this.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna milk it for every cent that he can, just like Mayweather's going to.
Going back to that suit, if that's really who in the hell is gonna buy a lot of those suits?
You'd be surprised.
Someone who's gonna have pinstripes that says "fuck you" on there, real. I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but if you think about it, I'm like,
buy it for Noah.
It's like you can't take that suit serious. I don't know.
It's not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Don't hurt yourself over it.
It hurts. No.
But yeah,
you can buy it.
If our listeners out there, if you're interested in watching this fight, let us know what your take is on the fight so far.
Buffalo Wild Wings shows boxing events.
I'm sure they'll show it, and if we go to try and watch it and it just gets too rowdy, maybe we can just order it at the house or something.
So $100 fight.
Huh?
It's a $100 fight.
Yeah.
What if I was like, I wouldn't think Wings to Go would have it, huh?
Maybe. We could reach out to them and see.
That or Hooters or what's that other one by Tinseltown?
The Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what the plan is. Go from there. We still have plenty of time. We've got over a month.
But between last night when I saw it and today I've watched it 3 times.
Trips put out the thing saying come to Raw or whatever for those guys. If they want to come to Raw and take their media tour to Raw, they are welcome.
Wow. That'd be cool. I mean, they have some, they have a little, they have a connection with Mayweather because,
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool to get that on a platform,
Have the censors on standby.
Oh, shit. He's fucked.
Yeah. So let's get into our feedback. The first bit of feedback we have is from Ace McSpade saying Great Balls of Fire is the worst pay-per-view name ever. Still looking forward to it, however. Thanks for another enjoyable podcast, guys. So thank you, Ace McSpade. Next bit of feedback we have is from James saying thanks for the answers in regards to his questions from last week. You're welcome. And final bit of feedback we have is from Victor.
Victor.
Saying, I didn't grow up with the Scramble channel during my younger wrestling viewing days, but I did use VHS to record every Raw and SmackDown from 2002 to 2009, plus pay-per-views from 2001 to 2009. And there were so many times when the shows... See, if he's recording pay-per-views, I'm thinking he had a black box. That's the only thing that I can think of. And there were so many times when the shows would just be ruined by choppy video and sound. It was impossible to fix those damn tapes. Thanks again for all the great shows. So thanks, Victor.
Yeah, I'm with you, Victor. I used to have years worth recorded on VHS as well. And I mean, yeah, it's hard to keep those fucking tapes.
I never did that whole channels, the choppy stuff. I never did that. There was I couldn't tell you when I started watching pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Maybe it was... Wow. I think it was after high school when I started watching pay-per-views.
I normally never watched pay-per-views, but there was a time where in high school, I got out of wrestling for a short time, and then I was walking around an electronics store or something, and I saw WrestleMania 20 on DVD. I was like, oh, cool, the 20th one. I wonder who's on there. And I looked at the card, and I was like, oh, that seems pretty good. So I bought it, and that's what got me back into wrestling.
Yeah.
As I went home and watched that, and then I started watching Raw again and following the product some more.
See, it's I just happened to be at the exact perfect age to where wrestling was at the height of its popularity while I was in high school. So it wasn't lame for kids to watch wrestling in high school, and who are in my age bracket, because it was the hot shit at that
Everybody
time.
was.
So people who didn't watch it before and probably haven't watched it since watched it then, and so it was just that weird. I'm just the exact age to where
That was the
where
hot
it was
thing to
at
watch.
the pinnacle of its
What
popularity.
was who was there at that point in time?
It was just Attitude Era shit. It was people were into. people were into WCW and Raw and.
Yep.
I remember there was a few people.
It was not uncommon to walk into high school and see kids wearing wrestling shirts, and not not where people were fucking nerds wearing wrestling shirts. It was just the exact perfect age for it to be at the height of its
Everyone
popularity.
had Rock or Degeneration X.
Yeah, I was
or
about to say that,
NWO shirts.
Yeah.
There was some people that were doing that. There's people doing the Rock eyebrow. You smell it I'm cooking and stuff like that, and a lot of people just doing DX chops and stuff everywhere. I'm like, yeah.
But the reason why I brought up the black box is because my dad actually had a black box where he got the movie channels and stuff like that. And
Why you couldn't get the pay-per-views with that?
well, that's what we did. He recorded. He would record some.
This is okay.
Yeah, he would record some for me, and I would watch them the next time I saw him. So that's how I saw the Hogan heel turn in WCW Bash at the Beach.
Nice.
So that was pretty crazy.
Well, it's such a weird thing because I know we talked about all this last week, but just because we're talking about it again, it's such a generation difference between kids, parents who will throw $10 a month at the fucking network to us trying to convince your parents every once in a while to spend $60 on a fucking pay-per-view,
$45.99. Come on, Mom.
Can you imagine trying to convince your parents we're older now and we have our own money and we're whatever, but can you imagine trying to, or we did have to try, but can you be kids now who didn't experience, can you imagine having to try to talk your parents into $50+ every month to watch a fucking pay-per-view?
It's $60 for this pay-per-view, and then in 2 weeks I'm gonna need $60 again, and then in 3 weeks I'm gonna need another $60.
Or was it 60 or 75 for the upgraded version?
Yeah, for HD.
HD.
Well, there wasn't even HD back then, but
Well, in today's world,
yeah, but
I saw the Mayweather fight. It's gonna be $100 for HD and $89 for standard
def.
Yeah, I'm dude, if you're gonna get it,
Might
at
as well get
watch
HD.
it in HD if you're paying that much already. Yeah, that is sort of a generational gap, cassette tapes and VHS tapes.
And fucking if it really want to get down to it, you don't have to be very internet savvy at all to just fucking bypass the network altogether and just get your shit online. And that's completely serious. Can you imagine Like in a heartbeat, I would if I had like a computer and the internet was what it is today. Whenever I was that age, in a heartbeat, I would have pirated the shit, all that shit, because there's no way my parents would have spent the money on it. So like I would have like had to get my hands on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I guess, I don't know. We're fucking old, I guess is what I'm saying.
The first pay-per-view that I ever ordered was like WrestleMania 23, something like that. That was the first one where I was like, hey, can I order this, have some friends over, and pay you back?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I used to watch like maybe once or twice. Like I was with you when we watched pay-per-views together. Like back in the day.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I mean, I didn't get pay-per-views every month, but I remember.
I want to
like,
say at least once. I thought I did.
Not only did we like not give them every month, but I remember like going to a friend's house where we had to go to the cable company, pick up a fucking like cable box, bring it back just to like order an ACW pay-per-view. Like we had to get like an extra special like cable box. It was like this whole thing. Like his parents had to drive us down to the cable company. We picked up an extra cable box. We brought it back to watch an ACW pay-per-view. It was like it was like a whole fucking like thing.
Black box.
Yeah. I didn't have one, dude.
That's what it was though.
Okay, that's right. Oh, okay,
yeah. I don't know how he got his hands on it, but
I had a buddy at the cable company.
maybe. So
got the hookup.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
So all you fucking youngsters out there
be damn grateful for what you've got.
that aren't taking this fucking like fight over the internet seriously, you better get out there and contact your fucking government and tell them to fuck off with all that bullshit and keep the internet free and open. Mm-hmm. You want to go back to our old ass fucking bullshit cable paying $60 fucking whew.
Back in my day, we all didn't have cell phones. You had to memorize their phone number and you call them, and if you didn't pick up, then you ride your bike over to their house and knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Damn kids and your technology and your texting and your emoji movies.
Man.
Whatever.
We've come a long way.
Yep. So anywho, let's talk about Great Balls of Fire.
There's balls.
There were balls
on the
In all
Tron.
seriousness, though, before we move on, that net neutrality shit.
Yeah,
it's for real. Like, you do whatever you can about it because we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards.
Didn't we have we had an episode like that a couple years back?
And now they tried to push it through again a couple of years back, and then they cooled. When everybody saw that it was going to happen, everybody was like, "Oh fuck, no, we ain't doing this."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Okay," and now they're trying to push it through again. So,
like I think that's their agenda. Like, oh, if we keep shutting it down, they're just going to keep on.
Rich get richer. That's what they want.
Fuck that.
Anywho.
Yeah, but take that seriously, people listening.
Yeah. So Great Balls of Fire took place this past Sunday on the WWE Network. And I'll be completely honest, this is just my reaction. Like I said before, others may differ from mine. I thought it was a really enjoyable pay-per-view. There were things that I really enjoyed. There were things that were okay. I thought there were parts that were sort of throwback to the Attitude Era of yesteryear. But we'll dive into those as we get to them. Before we go match by match or whatever, do y'all want to chime in or give an overall thought?
I thought it was a good show. That's a thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people on the internet is just way too harsh on this one. They're harsh on a lot of them. But
whoa. Am I okay? Maybe I'm out of step, but I didn't hear a lot of like harsh criticism for the show as a whole.
Well, even on the podcast page, I asked, okay, did you like it, dislike it, thought it was okay, thought it was great? What did you think?
I'm sorry, I didn't read it.
Yeah, there were a lot of negative comments, and I'm thinking it's just because, and it's something that we talked about in the past, that lasting impression. Whatever they felt whenever the credits rolled, that's how I felt about it. So if they were frustrated that Joe didn't win the title, the whole pay-per-view was shit.
Yeah, but you have to set we can't keep like parenting everyone, but you have to separate your what you want from booking from what this show actually is. Like you have to separate what you want from what you were given and judge what you're given on its own merits.
I saw a lot of, it was predictable. Joe didn't win the title. This is bullshit. They keep it on part-timers and stuff like that. Guys, come on.
People have a grudge against that whole Brock Lesnar part-timer thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well. But let's dive into the matches, I should say. We had the kickoff match, Neville defeating Akira Tozawa.
I will admit I got bummed at the outcome of this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like one of those people, but just because I don't know where they're going. You know, it's like I'm not invested in. I was kind of invested in this because I like Tozawa, but the whole Titus brand thing and all that stuff.
It was starting to pick up some momentum, and
well, I know a little bit, but I don't see where they can go. I mean, I know Tozawa's gonna have his rematch, but I mean, I don't know if Tozawa loses again. I mean, where they're gonna go now? It's like I'm not invested in anyone else with the whole cruiserweight thing. So I mean, I get it because Neville's just the hottest star right now in cruiserweight.
Yeah, but even now he's starting to cool off because he was actually pinned on Raw this past week, which I think that's the first time he's been pinned.
I was bummed at the outcome, to let you know. I just was. So.
I didn't have any problems with it. I thought the match was good, and the story's not over, so I didn't expect this to be a title change. So I just, I don't know. I'm into the Titus brand shit, Titus Worldwide shit.
Oh, wow. There's a third member, by the way. There's a third member.
I like.
Who's the third member, Tyler?
Wale.
Oh, okay.
He seems to like he dropped all the heel stuff and he seems to be earnestly like behind his guys.
Yeah.
And I'm into it. I don't know. Like I
am too.
I thought I heard a lot of people say, what does Titus add to, or what does Tozawa get from Titus? I just thought like him being at ringside and like actually getting behind Tozawa added to the match a little bit.
Yeah.
Not in a big bold way, but it's just like a little nuance to the match that I thought helped the match. I like Titus cheering his dude on, getting hype, and even when Tozawa was pissed, they showed him backstage like,
what can I do to make it better?
He's like, give me a rematch. He's like, I'm working on it. I'm gonna get you. I don't know. I like that. I like him as a manager.
It's showing that he's caring about his client.
I like the Titus Worldwide shit. I like Tozawa. I think if it's an odd pairing, but if it works, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I was into the match. I thought it was a good match, and I like where they're going in the story. And the story's not over, so we'll see what happens. But
I mean, I hope it continues, and I hope he wins. I don't know. Because, I don't know. They just been, before this, kind of going nowhere with the Cruiserweight championship.
Yeah. I'm still thinking that they're going to try and build Cedric Alexander to be the guy to take the title.
Well, I missed 205. Did he win the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I expected him to, but...
Yeah, he defeated Noam Dar. And then afterwards, Noam Dar broke up with Alicia Fox. So it looks like we're finally getting away from this
Alicia
whole
Fox?
thing.
Oh, no, then Jack Gallagher comes out, and he's dating Alicia Fox. Because he's a gentleman.
That's right. He's there to pick up the pieces and be the shoulder to cry on.
Yep. He put a towel over that wet puddle so she won't have to,
Yeah.
step in it.
Because he's a gentleman.
Yes.
Going back to the Titus thing, I agree. I like the pairing. It is an odd combination, but it works. Titus is just such a, I don't know. He's got that bit of charisma that I think that some of the other folks are lacking in.
Well, see, I think people think because he sometimes fucks up his verbiage, or sometimes he stutters, or sometimes he says something a little bit off and then has to correct himself. They take that as he's not charismatic or that he can't speak. And like, I mean, as a guy who fucks up what he's saying all the time, I can appreciate it. But to me, it doesn't mean that he's not charismatic just because he fucks up, he flubs the line every once in a while. To me, he still has a greater like presence or whatever.
Yeah. And it helps with Apollo Crews and Tozawa because they aren't the greatest speakers.
Well, so Tozawa is not fluent, and Apollo is not.
He's
super
happy to be
charismatic.
There. He's just happy to be there.
Yeah, to me, it's a smart pairing. I mean,
and also when he flubs his line, he makes it work. He turns it into
He makes it a win. Yeah.
Makes it a win.
It makes it a win. It's good.
I mean, look, I myself have been guilty of making fun of like his fuck ups in the past. Everybody made fun of the make it a win shit. I mean, that was an actually pretty big fuck up, you know. But that doesn't mean that he hasn't like progressed or like that he doesn't have charisma or whatever.
He's come a long way.
Yeah, man. I mean, good for that dude. I mean,
if he gets the Titus Worldwide shirt, you buying?
It depends on how it looks. I mean, if it's a good looking shirt, I'll buy one. Sure.
Cool.
I mean, you can't have
Titus Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Win.
Worldwide.
Can't have like a booty design and like.
That shirt is booty.
So
I mean, there are plenty of people I like who I don't buy their shirts because I don't like the designs.
Yeah.
James Ellsworth.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? You got
Heath
like,
Slater's
you got like
shirt.
3 of those. I got
his
kids.
His is the worst shirt ever.
I got kids. After that, we got to see Bray Wyatt go up against Seth Rollins. Bray Wyatt surprisingly getting a pay-per-view win. Even more surprising that he got a second win on Raw the following night.
I tuned out.
Yeah, I did
Seth
as well.
Rollins, and I know it sounds bad, but it's not like it's just my mind just went to something else automatically. Because I was like,
Well, it goes back to the conversation you and I were having during Great Balls of Fire, where it's sort of now we're being exposed to so much wrestling in such a short amount of time that we're focusing more on the matches we're interested in, tuning out some of the others. While, yes, we do have to do a podcast, well, we don't have to, but we choose to do a podcast and we choose to talk about the wrestling matches, there are some matches that we just aren't holding our interest, this being one of them. I didn't have any interest watching Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins, let alone a second time on Raw. So, I don't know, Doug, you're a big fan of Wyatt versus Rollins. What did you think of the match?
I thought it was really good. No, I'm fucking with you.
I was like, okay, well, if it changed your
Hey,
mind
man,
on
if
that,
I need to go
was
back and rewatch it.
fair enough.
Nah, you guys are pretty on the point. I think it was very good, and to me, it feels like those guys together are just going through the motions, and I'm not necessarily sure what exactly I would blame it on, but
alcohol, baby.
Sorry, that's what I was thinking too.
but like I think I have problems with each of them individually as performers. I find them more palatable when they are paired with other people who bring out maybe something a little different in them. But together, it's just it's hard to stomach.
Yeah, and even on Raw, the promos between the two just didn't care. I didn't care about it.
Yeah, well, I don't buy into either of their promos. I don't buy into either of their characters, and I mean the ring work just seems like very stale to me. It seems like they have the same match and they're just sort of going through the motions. So.
Yeah, and it goes back to a conversation we've had in the past, like when Bray Wyatt cuts his promos. While it's cool sounding, what is he really saying?
I mean, we're past the point of like he has a unique take on delivering a promo because it doesn't matter anymore because he said absolutely nothing since he's been there.
Yeah.
So it's.
And even hearing him like mention the pay-per-view names, to me, that just sucks it all out.
I mean, it's like if a rapper has a unique flow, if your fucking rhymes are shit, your rhymes are still shit. You know, it doesn't matter that you have a unique flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like Bray Wyatt's like, I am a god and I am an eater of worlds. And at WWE pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire, I'm going to destroy you. Like, I don't know. It's just...
I don't know.
But anyways, Bray Wyatt wins, thumb to the eye to Seth Rollins, gets the win. After that, we got to see Big Cass versus Enzo. Enzo came out, huge pop.
Why did he get such a long promo for a guy they're just going to beat and not competitively?
I think it was to show that he knows that he's going to get beaten down, but he's going to continue to get back up.
That
wasn't really that wasn't what his promo was about, though. His promo was like, you think you're going to be the star, but I'm going to be the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That match went the way I thought it was going to be, so...
Yeah, they gave him shine with the promo.
I didn't have like high expectations. I had this expectation of it, and it delivered the way I thought it was going to be. So
the match itself did what it was supposed to do. Got Big Cass over as a star, whatever.
or I should say, got him past Enzo, so he can go to be a big star.
The promo itself, Tyler took a phone call as Enzo was making his entrance. He ended the phone call, came back into the room, and Enzo was still talking. It was very long.
Yeah.
Quoting Sinatra.
I don't know.
I think that his approach to these promos is the wrong approach for what is supposed to be such a like backstabbing thing. Like to me, it's like he's still trying to be too clever. To me, he should be more emotional than clever, and it's just the wrong approach promo-wise for me.
I don't know if he's ever been like that. I think this is the only thing he's known, or whatever, this style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
that's who he is, 100%.
There's like 10 fucking agents running around backstage, and someone should have been like, hey, this is probably not the right approach for this specific promo.
Well, someone backstage thinks so.
You've got the rest of your career to do this, like, this clever shit or whatever. To me, I don't know. It just didn't work.
This would be the one time where you're all serious, all that.
0 dimes.
It's not that he was serious. It's just that he was like, if you're so like, if I am a victim of my emotions,
I'm so mad at you, I'm gonna think of some quips to say about it.
Yeah, like if you're so overwhelmed with your emotion, you're not like thinking.
What if? That's how he talks in real life.
No one talks like that in real life.
That'd be a weirdo.
Are you trying to think of something witty to say to that?
No, I'm just saying if he did talk, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't. That's his character, but still.
After that, we got to see the 30-minute Iron Man tag match between the Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro. I enjoyed this match.
I thought it was good. I think they worked hard, and in a lot of these Iron Man matches, it's a lot of selling and a lot of waiting around, and these guys were actually working hard. There was not a lot of selling. There was not a lot of rest holds. These guys were getting after it and working very hard.
They got me, man. The 3-1 or 3-0?
3-1, yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I knew they were going to come back. But
had to make it exciting there at the end, which they did.
That's pretty good.
What did Matt get busted? How did he get busted open?
I went back and watched it. It was whenever the Hardy Boys were up on the turnbuckles and they did that dive onto Sheamus. Matt Hardy's head connected with Sheamus's head, and I remember seeing that match originally. I was like, man, Sheamus seems kind of out of it there at the end. Like he seemed a little whoa, and it was because they collided heads, and that's what caused the big cut over Matt's eye.
Collide.
Yeah, but yeah, these guys, they went all out. I did like the in between selling. Cesaro was like looking at his wrist, be like, "Oh, look at the time. We're still ahead. We're doing just fine." There was a lot of confusion at the end where they got the final pinfall to secure the victory, and it was because a tag wasn't shown on screen. Like Sheamus went into the corner, Cesaro tagged himself in, and then he fell to the side, and Sheamus got knocked down or something like that. But if you go back and watch it, you'll hear the tag. You'll see the ref tag has been made. But the final score was 4-3 in the 30-minute Iron Man tag match. Sheamus and Cesaro retain their tag championships. So really enjoyable matchup. Worth checking out again. After that, we got to see Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Got to give credit to Alexa Bliss for doing the double jointed arm thing.
That got me.
That was pretty sick.
She's done it before, but I forgot. I forgot that I've seen her do it before. Because whenever
she did it on SmackDown,
I don't remember,
or one of the SmackDown pay-per-views. It's been a while since she's done it
before, and I completely forgot that I've seen her do it before, and I was like, "Oh, is her arm really fucked?"
Yeah, Tyler and I were both like that, and then I remembered that she had done it. I was like, "Oh, wait, she's double jointed. That's she's working it."
That is gross though that she can do it.
Yeah. But imagine if that was fucking real, and like they would have that stop.
Like, what would they do?
Oh my god.
Like just pop it back in place or
hook,
something?
line, sinker.
If
it got
they
me.
stop it for blood, they would stop it for that.
Yeah.
I thought this was good too. I think they worked hard. The finish kind of sucked. It was very like unsatisfying finish, but
Yeah.
What was the finish? I forgot.
Count out.
count out.
Oh, okay.
She purposely got counted out.
Mhm.
She was just
I
like,
remember
"Fuck
now.
it, I'm not getting back in."
Then they brawled afterwards, and Sasha did the double knees from the commentary table.
Right,
That was
which was a cool spot.
yeah, not too bad. They worked hard, and they worked Sasha's back for the majority of the match. Miz versus Dean Ambrose. This one went about how I was expecting. All the members of the Miztourage got involved. One versus
To me,
all.
it's like every match they've had up until this point.
Yeah, like
And we've seen a lot of them.
Similar
all
to-
those matches.
similar to Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar. This is like the feud that just will not go away. I mean, they did fine. No complaints, no compliments.
Yeah.
Miz ends up retaining. After that, we got to see the ambulance match: Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. I felt these guys went to town on one another.
It's what I thought it would be. I thought it was a lot of fun, a fun brawl. It didn't go very long.
But I didn't expect. No. I did expect Braun to win. Y'all expected Roman to win.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the way he quote unquote won, but the finish was basically protecting both guys.
Yeah.
You know, and which they had to, and which they should have. But I don't know. To me, this is sort of like the best. Like for two guys, you have to keep strong. This is the best case scenario.
yeah.
That's
The
not,
finish-
That's not the phrasing I'm looking for, but you know what I'm getting at. It's
Yeah.
like
They sold the story well enough. I loved the spots where Roman grabbed the chair and started hitting on Braun, and he used his surgically repaired arm to, take the shot. And
he
just,
no-sold them
yeah,
after a while.
he was
He's
just
like,
like,
fuck this.
really? You're gonna use a chair now? Boom! My arm is now a shield. I love the spot that they did to have how Roman lost the match, because in one of their previous matches, when Braun lost, it was because he went for a big move. It cost him the match. In this case, Roman went for a big move, the spear, to try and get Braun into the ambulance, and Braun moved out of the way, which cost Roman the match.
Plus all the times that Roman's gotten the upper hand over
Yeah.
the past couple of weeks has been with a spear off of the thing and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, like we of course have to talk about the fucking like I'm gonna ram into the truck thing, but I was the same as everybody else in the world with a brain and a recollection back to wrestling in the past. I was like, oh fuck, they're doing a double turn. I was like, because it was very much like Braun is for sure not a heel. He was not getting heel reactions, but he was for sure baby-faced right there. And I thought, like everybody else online, I was like, oh, Austin Brett, they're doing a fucking double turn right here. Like they're just going to swap these motherfuckers. And then Roman came out on Raw and just was like,
Whatever.
yeah, like, I don't know.
See, that's them doing it again. They had an
so
opportunity after he beat Undertaker to just go in, and he did that long wait for the crowd to die down, and they never would. And then he finally just goes, "This is my yard now," and got the biggest boos. And like that was their chance to turn it. This was their chance to turn him. They're not going to do it.
Well, it's not even that I'm like they need to turn him. It's just like why go that far and not?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He didn't get in trouble at Raw.
No. Kurt Angle's like, you got a lot of nerve showing up after what you did. And he's like, come on.
Give me your
and they're
wrist.
like, yeah, that's a good point.
It's not that I'm arguing that they need to turn him or that they should have. It's that why go that far over the line and not? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is that supposed to get hit? Do they think that was going to get him cheered? Maybe they did. Maybe honestly, they said if we just
take out Braun Strowman, that'll get the crowd to cheer for him.
No. Maybe if he does something so outlandish and like sort of prickish, people will be like, oh,
He's a badass.
yeah. But it didn't work though. I mean,
No. Not in this
but
instance.
it could have if they followed up on it. Is what I'm saying. He had to follow through on being a prick about shit,
Yeah.
but he didn't. But they for sure babyfaced Braun. I just don't know why they went that far with Roman, only to not address it. I mean, not address it, but to not follow up on it. You know what I mean?
They're probably second guessing themselves. Like, well, I just don't know if we should have done that. I don't know.
I think it's just, to me, it's
Just let it play out. Just take a chance.
Well, I think some of it is we have to do something big and cool when we give like an unsatisfying finish like that. We have to do something big and cool to pay off the unsatisfying finish. Same thing with the Sasha Alexa thing. Like, we're going to do a bullshit finish, so let's do something cool so that people forget about the bullshit finish. So they had to protect both guys, so they did kind of a bullshit finish, and they're like, well, we got to do something to make people forget about the fucking finish.
Right.
That's probably what actually was a problem, but everyone else was like, oh, fuck. Like, this is so far past the line that they were like, are they
Roman finally had enough of Braun Strowman.
Are we double turning these guys? Because when he came out, like, all like wobble leg selling, and like the look back that he does with all the blood,
that was a good look.
That was like, that's a fucking babyface turn right there. I don't know.
And then he's just like, leave me alone. Just
so
I'm going home.
Let me go to my cave.
Of course he's going to interfere in that fucking match next week. We all know that's coming. But like, man, I just like, everyone was like, God damn, double turn. But I just don't. It's probably really just they wanted you to forget about the finish.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just like so far past the point that it's like, whoa, you gotta dial back a little bit if you want people to. Well, if you don't want people to be like, ooh, double turn, Austin Brett.
Like I said, they've had these opportunities with Roman to where if they just turned him heel, everything would be fine. The crowd would react appropriately, and they'd probably make a lot more money. I don't know.
I bet they'll be like, you know what, people want him to be.
He's Cena.
He's Cena, I was about to say, he's Cena.
That's not what they do anymore. It's just,
I'm a good guy who does bad things at times, but I'm going to be a good guy. If I want to be a bad guy for a little bit, I'm going to be a bad guy for a little bit.
It's just, I don't know. It's sort of weird.
In the moment.
But, I mean, it was cool. It was a cool thing that happened. I like the match. I like the weird fucking, I'm going to, like, run this dude into a fucking thing.
Daniel liked the camera angles.
You know me and my camera angles. I don't know if you guys caught how many camera angles they had.
4.
But there were many.
It just doesn't bother me.
It doesn't.
It bothers me because it just sucks me out of it.
Are you of the opinion that the only backstage stuff that should be shown are promos with interviewers?
No.
Okay. So then if you're gonna suspend your disbelief to say I can accept things other than interviewer giving backstage promos, then you have to fucking let go of the fact that like the weird camera angles happen because they just catch it however they catch it.
Here's the issues that I had.
It's bullshit, but I'm gonna let you speak.
I appreciate that. Please let me have the floor. Here's the issue that I have, okay? So no one knows that Roman is doing this. So the camera operator who's near the stage where the ambulance is literally running behind the ambulance to follow them, correct?
Okay.
I will buy the one camera angle that shows the front of the ambulance as he pulls up.
Whoa, I'm going to let you speak. I swear to God, I'm going to let you speak.
Because that could be someone who was backstage, and they're like, oh, shit. Someone get back over there.
You just said that you don't think that...
I'm working towards it.
I don't think you are.
I'm getting there.
I don't think you are. But go ahead.
I'm okay with the camera operator following him from the arena. I'm okay with one cameraman being backstage because that could be the person who's doing the backstage promos, and the producer could get on the headset and be like, you need to find this ambulance because something's going down. The problem that I had is that there was a camera angle above the trailer that then backed in that he ran the ambulance into. The problem I have is that there was a camera inside the ambulance.
Was there?
Yes.
In the ambulance?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
And then they might have taped a few things prior to, because I did notice that whenever
I think they did a lot. They said, there might have been parts of it, but they did the most of it.
I want to say the one camera angle where the ambulance, you see the back of the ambulance, and it's right over the trailer that he ends up backing into. I want to say that was pre-taped at some point, because whenever they did the camera angle where the guy focuses in on the mirror, the driver's side mirror, and you see Roman, kind of just contemplating what he's about to do. When they cut back to that far angle, there's no camera person there.
So you basically want 2 years ago TNA. Like, why weren't you fucking watching TNA? You only want backstage stuff when like a sneaky cameraman runs up and catches it. You don't want to suspend your disbelief to just say, if it happens backstage, then like we're just like in a movie, like there's no camera, we just happen to fucking see what happens.
No, I mean like I said, I'm okay with that.
You need to believe that like an actual cameraman caught it.
Yes.
Okay, so then you do only want like here's a cameraman shooting a promo, or oh, we happen to see over there a cameraman. You can't ever.
Well, they're following the action, is what it is.
Yeah,
because whenever there's a backstage brawl, what happens? They always follow. You always see the camera running up to.
Sometimes.
More often than not. You never see the security camera that's, 20 feet in the air.
So are you under the impression that every time they're in, like, Stephanie's office, there's just a cameraman hanging out, like, in their office for no fucking reason?
I have my own issues with that, but I'm not going to get into that. Like the whole, Kurt Angle, oh, I can't go to the public with this. Hi, camera. Like, dude, you're on national TV saying I can't go to the public with this. Anywho. But it's just, I wish I had a video screen to show what I was.
I know what you're saying. Basically,
and then it was like while he's backing up, they changed camera angles like 5 or 6 times.
You basically want that fucking like found footage, like you want that found footage era that TNA went through, where every time they saw people like getting to it backstage, it was like a sneaky camera, and they were like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here." Where it's like guys like a creepy like guy whose job it is to catch everything that happens backstage or something.
Oh, just like that one where AJ Styles and Dixie Carter were together.
That whole fucking era where they went through the like basically where everything that happened backstage was a cameraman sneaking around and catching it.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?"
I remember that.
I don't know.
So why were you watching TNA during that area? That's what you want from your backstage stuff.
I was not.
I enjoyed that.
No, why weren't you? If that is such an appeal, if that's such a strong opinion you have, then why were you ducking TNA? Well, they were fucking catering to you.
I guess I don't have an answer for that. I apologize.
Yeah. I like how they did. I'm breaking down the stuff, okay? So people who don't want to hear this, put your hands over your ears. I like how they brought Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins in the match so they could put Braun in the ambulance.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was wondering how they were doing it.
Okay, so here it is. I pulled up the video, and I apologize for those who are listening because you're obviously not seeing what I'm seeing. So the cameraman follows them. I can maybe buy this angle, but it's not even in order that they're showing it. But like this 4 or 5 different camera angle changes while they're doing that. It was just a little much.
So you'd rather have like a less clear shot of the crash? And
I mean, I get that.
If they're going to make a big expensive fucking they're going to ruin 2 vehicles so that you can see this angle. Why not get the fucking best shot of the crash?
Yeah. But see, like right here, there's someone standing next to the vehicle, and then they cut to the next one, and there's no one there. There's no one there. So, I don't know. See, like that's the angle where it's clearly right behind what he's going to back into. That one's just a little unbelievable for me. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm picky. You guys know this. Like whenever you were watching, what was it, Barrett and Orton brawling in an elevator in crystal clear HD quality, no elevator in the world has that kind of quality.
Yeah, that had your number.
That just, I don't know. There's just certain things. Anywho, so
I don't know how you buy any part of wrestling though if you can't buy that. Is what I'm saying.
It's not that I can. It just bugs me. It bugs me.
I mean, that's fine. I think you're wrong, but that's fine.
That's fine. You're more than welcome to disagree what you have, and so anywho.
I'm just fucking with you. Of course, you're welcome to be wrong. And
yeah,
you're wrong.
Maybe I'm just getting a little delirious. I've been up for a while, so I don't know. I want our listeners to weigh in on this. I want to know. Does the
nobody's weighing in on this?
Yeah,
Nobody
they're not
weighs in
gonna
on
do
anything.
They're not gonna let us know how they feel
the next
about that.
match, you didn't get to we didn't get to see the ending to the next match.
Yeah, we heard who won, but we didn't get to see how. They had an impromptu match. Heath Slater going up against Kurt Hawkins. Heath Slater gets the win.
I wonder.
Canadian Destroyer off the top is what Brian Myers said.
Ah.
I wonder if it's like they knew what was going on, because when they went out there, they were looking at the Titantron. They were trying to wrestle and stuff. So I don't know if they told them to get out there to do their own
They're
thing.
probably just taking in those sweet, sweet camera angles that Daniel doesn't like.
Yes, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So then that takes us into the main event, Brock Lesnar going up against Samoa Joe. I wish they would have gotten a little more time, but I'm fine with what they got. It was a really fun and enjoyable match. Tyler, what do you think?
I think they went short on purpose. I mean, I think the point was it feels less decisive of a victory if it's sort of like a flash win on Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on Joe, because if it was like a more of a battle, then it's almost like he definitively beat him. And Joe's sort of like, he got fucking lucky, kid, is sort of what he's saying. You know what I mean? So it's hard to, if they go 12 minutes, it's sort of hard to say, oh, you just got lucky. And this is
like, I almost had you. You were able to lift me up. And
yeah, this is basically like Joe beat his ass for 5 minutes, and then he threw a couple of suplexes and got a quick pin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hot off the bat.
And you can ask Tyler. I called 6 suplexes in that. I was like, I think there's only going to be.
I was like, I don't think there's going to be a lot, but I mean, hey man, hot off the bat.
Yeah, the attack before the bell to the brawl through the table on the outside, and working back in, ringing the bell.
Like I've said this before in the last few podcast episodes. It just amazes me that this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because of the matchup, but
it's
Lesnar.
Samoa Joe.
Lesnar picks
Lesnar.
who he wants to. I don't know if I guess he picks who he wants to work with.
I'm sure he has
they're working
a say
relationship. Like we said, it seems to be good.
He doesn't pick who he wants to work with, but he has a say in how much he gives who he works with.
Yeah, and like I've said, this match was awesome, and I mean, I don't know if WWE is surprised or not, but I mean, if they're going into a triple threat, fatal 4-way, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the initial word was that it was just going to be a one-off, and then they saw the reaction from the crowd and the buzz online, and they're like, "Oh, we might have something here." So, they're going to set it up for something else. I want to skip ahead to Raw, but we can also talk about the match if there's anything else y'all had to.
Yeah, it all sort of fits together.
Yeah, the promo with Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe, that was on fire. I absolutely loved that segment.
You're starting to piss me off.
The fact that Lesnar grabbed the mic.
Nobody looked like a dweeb. Everybody had at least one banger of a line to talk shit to somebody with.
I like the line that Roman, saying,
"You see me? You see?" Or what did he say about
you see me
sitting here? You see Braun or whatever.
If you can find him.
If you can find the guy. Yeah. And he's like, I want to take him out because I took him out because you're not going to do anything about it and you're never here. Yeah. So I like that line. I love the line from Lesnar who's like, this is the closest you're going to get. Like, you think you deserve this? You don't deserve shit. Nice reaction from the crowd.
Number.
And then Joe came out and he blew me away. The intensity that he had, the
we
believability.
talked about his promos last week.
I
know that's in him. We've seen it before in TNA and stuff like that. I just know that he's a beast when he turns it on. He can do it.
He's just a believable badass. He makes you believe that he is who he says he is.
And the fact that he doesn't care who you are. You could be, Akira Tozawa. You could be Brock Lesnar. The fact that he looked at Brock Lesnar and was like, "You look at me when I'm talking to you. Like, don't you turn away from me."
Anybody can say that, but not anybody can make you feel that.
His delivery,
you could feel that.
His look, his delivery. I mean, I love it. Like when he says this stuff, I love it when they're zooming in and he has that pissed off look.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even do it justice. But I mean, he's done it a few times on WWE cameras, and man, it's just, whew.
It was so good, so enjoyable. I love the fact that Lesnar seemed to get pissed off at Joe, and so they kind of got face to face, and man, So good. I want more, and that's the end game. They want you to want more, and I hope we get to see more of Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar.
I mean, clearly Braun is going to interfere in the number 1 contender match next week. My initial reaction was like, oh, they're doing a 4-way because they kept, even though Roman lost, they kept Roman protected. They kept Braun strong. They did their best to protect Joe even in loss, and obviously Lesnar's still the champ. So they did their damnedest to protect all 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be a 3-way, or you think it's going to be a 4-way? You think Joe's in it or not?
Absolutely.
You think he's?
I think it would be I think it would be absolutely foolish not to have him in that match.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I think that there's a possibility they could just go 3-way. But to me, it's like if Braun goes out there and costs both guys the match, everybody has an argument for why they should have another shot.
But with those 4 guys, you think it's just be too much going on?
No, because
with those 4 big tough guys.
That's how you switch the title off Lesnar without having to pin him.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to take that pin and Lesnar's not. And then you get your champ back on
Roman
TV.
pins Samoa Joe, and then you can have Samoa Joe versus Roman or whoever later down the road.
I guess so.
See, I don't know that I'd want Roman pinning Joe specifically because Joe has that thing. He's like, "You've never beat me" thing. So that's something for them to come back to.
I hope they keep that. I hope they keep that at least for a while.
I mean, that's if I think everybody's under the impression that they're putting the belt on Roman at SummerSlam. And
that's been the initial plan.
Yeah. They were gonna do it at Mania, but they pushed it up a lot. But
makes me wonder what they're gonna do for Mania. I'm still. Maybe they're switching it up and they're going to go Roman versus Braun at Mania. Like maybe Roman holds onto the belt through the Royal Rumble. Braun gets the Rumble.
Joe wins it. And
who does Joe pin? Who does Joe pin? Who do you have Joe pin, though, is the interesting thing if Joe's going to get it.
It would probably have to be Roman.
He's already beaten Roman, so.
Yeah.
That's what,
he's already beaten him. I would think that Lesnar gives him an F5 or something. Braun gives him a finisher of some sort.
Because if you were going to beat Braun, then Roman would have just beat Braun.
Yeah. Because that's similar to how Samoa Joe won the number 1 contendership. Like someone did all the dirty work. He came in, put in his finishing maneuver, and that was it.
Yeah.
Shocked the world.
Okay, Joe wins it, and he has it for a while, then Roman takes it off of him.
Yeah.
I think Joe has done the work to make himself credit. They could go it. I don't think they are, but I think Joe has done himself a huge favor, and that he got Joe's gonna kill you chance against Lesnar.
Oh yeah. I said that. I mentioned. I was like, dude. I was like, that's fucking nuts when they're chanting that even towards Brock Lesnar. I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Thank you, Dallas. Thank you.
Dallas was a pretty good crowd.
They were. Even Houston was pretty good for Raw.
Yeah, they were. They were actually pretty good. It's shocking, I know, because last time we were in Houston, they were the shits. Yeah. But Joe is as credible as they could make anybody else on the roster right now. So it is not out of the question to me, it seems perfectly like
it's plausible,
plausible for them to go with them. But I don't. What think
if okay? What if they do a thing where it's like, okay, Joe wins it, and then Lesnar maybe out of the picture for a little bit, and then
Lesnar's going to lose the belt and he's going to come back around Mania season.
And then what if they
maybe
do
Rumble? That's what I mean.
And after that, they go to a triple threat: Joe versus Braun versus Roman, and Joe wins. And then later on, they do Roman versus Joe, and Roman takes the belt off of Joe.
I don't know. We might be getting our hopes up a lot. I don't know that. I'm not even 100% sure that it's going to go 4-way with Joe. I think it's at the very least. I think they're going 3-way, or at the very least for SummerSlam with Reigns, Braun, and Lesnar. But I think it'd be pretty cool to keep Joe in that mix for.
Got to keep that momentum going. Yeah.
Because what else do you have for him? I mean,
there's not another guy on the roster who I'd feel good about him feuding with right now, just because anything feels like a demotion from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you could put him up against Finn, which I'm sure those two would tear the house down.
Still feels like a demotion.
But what has Finn done lately? I mean, he's
fucking with a drifter.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't put him against Seth Rollins because he's just lost to Bray Wyatt, and you can't put him up against Dean Ambrose because he's losing to Miz. I mean, they don't really have anyone for him if they went that route.
Anything feels like a demotion, and I don't know that you would sacrifice that. You know,
even if Sheamus took time off to go record his movie, and you had Joe versus Cesaro,
good matches, but it still feels like a demotion.
Yeah,
because Cesaro doesn't have that momentum as a singles guy.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. So
well, I was about to say, depending on the time period or whatever, if Cena's done with Rusev, and if he's a free agent going back and forth, maybe they do something Cena Joe. I don't know.
I mean, that would not feel like a demotion. That would feel like an okay move for him. That's at least a lateral move for him. But you know, who knows if that is even going to happen?
He chokes John Cena out. Oh my God. So yeah, lots to cover in the coming weeks as we build towards SummerSlam.
Good for that guy, man. He really, man, those guys that just feel like TNA took a good chunk of their careers away from them. You know what I mean?
Styles, Samoa Joe. Mm-hmm. Look at him now.
It's not like they weren't good performers. It's not like they weren't good performers in TNA. It just feels like it was all for nothing. Like it was like wasted like years of their life or something.
Austin Aries, R.I.P.
I mean, I wouldn't put him in the same boat as guys like AJ and Joe who got to the show and said, "Hey, yeah, actually, we are as fucking good as everyone thought we were." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't put Aries in that boat, and maybe it's not. Maybe he didn't get the same opportunity those other guys got. You know, but it's still, you can't lump those. You can't draw an equal sign between what Aries did and what like AJ and Joe has done. You know.
True that.
But going into Raw, we kicked it off with a big Cass promo. I thought that was probably his best promo to date. I mean, it's not saying a lot, but
I don't know where they're gonna go. I mean, I know they're doing the Big Show thing, but it's like I know they like the.
I feel like that's going to be the passing of the torch moment. Maybe Big Show will finally
that Raw talk when they talk to him after or not the Raw, whatever.
Yeah, the Raw talk after like, Great Balls of Fire. Your claim to being a WWE Universal Champion is I'm 7 foot tall.
And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go after Brock Lesnar. Then okay, now what did they say? Who's next after Brock Lesnar? He goes, he's good, but he's not good as me or something. I don't know who's talking about. Maybe he was talking about Joe or something. I don't know. Yeah, he was talking about Joe. He's like, he's good, but I'm better. And I'm like,
nah,
I don't believe that. But I know he's just trying to get himself over to, trying to make people believe that. I understand. But I don't know where they're going to go.
There's no way those guys can be put together because neither one of them can lose right now.
Yeah.
Man.
So
I was like, Cass has a long way to go.
They're both heels anyway. I mean, I guess Joe's technically a heel, but
Cass has
apparently Joe got thank you Joe chants after the match at Great Balls of Fire. So
man, I still can't believe Joe's gonna kill you.
That's crazy.
Lesnar.
So yeah, Big Cass cut a promo. Big Show came out. So we're probably gonna have the Battle of the Giants at
fucking nothing
SummerSlam.
Joe did in NXT was as good as this.
Yeah.
And it's not like he didn't get some high profile stuff either. He got Finn and he got Nakamura.
Yeah. They had some good matches, but this is such a higher elevation.
I'm not.
This is more than matches, though. This is like.
Yeah.
I know all three of us can agree. We never thought he would have a shot at Lesnar. I never thought they would have a match.
I would have hoped for them to do it. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. That's what blows my mind. But
yeah,
it's crazy. Finn Balor defeats Elias Sampson. The Hardy Boys come out, cut a promo. How has the novelty worn off? Should they classify themselves as obsolete? Are they broken? No.
Are they getting close to?
That's a heavy tease. That was a heavy tease.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
it depends.
Wink.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Like Jarrett just did an interview like this week or today or whatever where he was like, I like those guys. Me and Jeff are like decent friends and we just had some personal interactions recently, but copyright law is cut and dry and we are the fucking owners of the gimmick. And then like I think Rebby was like, Jeff, why are you lying or whatever? Like they seem to think they're close to a deal or the deal's done. Jeff is denying it. That's a heavy fucking. That's a heavy tease for them to not be sure if they're gonna get it or not. Though.
Yeah.
That was basically saying, yes, we are on a losing streak, so that we can do the fucking thing. But who knows?
Even if they get it, like, are they gonna do all like the hokey stuff? Like they like?
No. They're just gonna. He's gonna do the catchphrases in the voice and.
Like they're not gonna like do like promos and they're not gonna teleport and
no.
Even though shit was so hokey, that was good to me, man. That was so good. Are they gonna have like feuds with people? Are they gonna fight at their compound?
Doubt it.
Nah.
They'll fight at the WWE compound where the New Day face the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Or they'll have a House of Horrors match with another house with a second floor.
I don't know. Is the WWE broken gimmick gonna be good as the TNA broken gimmick?
No, but the crowd will go nuts for it. They'll eat it up. They'll buy the shirts. They'll buy all the merch, and people will make money. People will spend money. That's right. Gallows and Anderson defeat Hardy Boys in quick fashion because the Hardy Boys were sort of beat down from their previous match. Then the Revival came out and beat down the Hardy Boys as well.
Feud, Hardys and Revival.
Yeah. So after that, we got the Miz TV segment with the Mizzies and the Miz Taraj. Shocker that Miz won best all-around person or whatever it was.
He got me when he was Dean Ambrose.
Just kidding. It's me. This is so unexpected. Ambrose came out. They brawled. Rollins came out, helped make the save. But then backstage, Ambrose was like, hey, look, don't think that, because you came out, everything's all square. I didn't ask for your help. I don't need your help. You stabbed me in the back.
So now they're
this isn't going to be some Shield reunion
together.
Yeah.
Yay!
What better way to end a feud than putting it with another feud and continuing it?
Yay! No. The only person I really like out of all this is Miz.
Yeah. Miz comes out looking like a star.
Yeah.
The A-lister, if you will.
Man, that's so different. Remember, like, not too long ago, we're like, with Miz.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're...
Ever since that promo on Talking Smack, he's turned it around. Well, even before that, his mic skills had improved, his ring work had improved, and then he cut that promo and was like, hey, whoa, where'd this come from? So, the Miz is outshining Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, in our opinion.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. So, after that, we got to see Bayley and Sasha defeat Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss takes the pinfall. So 2 losses in a row
Raw
for her.
talk. What'd you think about Sasha Banks saying that stuff? Because I didn't know it. The information. She was like, "Oh, she couldn't tell the Hardys apart. She don't know about wrestling or stuff like that." You remember that?
No.
She was like,
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
I don't know where that came from.
Who was she saying that to?
About Alexa Bliss. She can't tell Matt and Jeff
Oh, they
apart.
don't like each other in real life.
Oh, sir, they're using that as... Because it was like, they threw it out there. I'm like, where'd that come from? I've never seen this. I've never heard this stuff.
I don't know about, like, the Hardy stuff in particular, but they, like, supposedly don't get along. Like, they don't actually like each other, like, for realsies, supposedly.
Just like Glow, which I got to watch, by the way.
Yeah?
Highly recommend. It was really good.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, so you liked it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Kelsey watched it, and she enjoyed it as well. So, good stuff. I'm curious if they're going to do a season 2.
I think they are.
Cool. We got to see Goldust versus R-Truth.
What'd you think of old Kong? She's pretty good at it.
She was.
I mean, I know I told you
Yeah.
who it was, but, like, I swear, like
Since
the
I
first
knew,
5 episodes.
since I knew that I would be looking for her, I was able to spot her right away.
Right.
But had I not known, it would have taken me a little bit. I'm like, oh.
She lost a good bit of weight.
Yeah, and it was the hair.
Yeah,
The fact that they went with like the poof hair style that they went with.
And then
it was enjoyable. I loved all the cameos.
Shoot, who's that? The producer?
Alex Riley.
No. Who's the producer, the comedian? I just said his name.
Mark Maron.
Yeah, Mark. He was hilarious.
He He was hilarious.
All the wrestlers that are in there. Even if they make another season, I bet they're going to show more wrestlers.
And I love the fact that they showed the one girl who was sort of against wrestling, who didn't know anything about it, when it finally clicked. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's like a soap opera.
She was like a soap opera actor.
Yeah.
And
she's like, oh, I understand it now.
Like Machu Picchu was like telling her, and she's like, oh, fuck, it's just a soap opera.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I loved that because for anyone...
the way she was so excited about getting it, like she was like,
yeah!
She's so excited. Then she banged out Alex Riley.
Yeah, she did.
She made it a win.
Well, when I get excited...
I find the nearest wrestling show. Just go to town.
When I get excited, I just look for Alex Riley. No.
I'm surprised.
Rage, Riley, rage.
I know they weren't going to do it, but Joey Ryan was a different character. But what if he did the dick grab in there? Like,
yeah. But yeah, I really appreciated the fact that they had that moment where they were explaining what's going on as far as the backstory. And they're like, oh, it's like a soap opera. Because fans, the people who watch the show who might not be fans of wrestling, you're like, oh, okay, so it's, they might be able to connect to it.
I like that. I like
the show is a lot less wrestling like than you would think.
Yeah.
Like going in.
I like I like everything about it, but whenever the main two characters, they train with Machu Picchu's brothers, which is Tyrus and Carlito.
Yeah.
Carlito looks so weird with the hair letting down.
Yeah.
I wanna do something to make the crowd go, and then I want to fly and make them like shit their pants or something. That was a great line.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back into Raw, Goldust defeats R-Truth. Is that the end of this feud? Probably not.
Keep it going.
No, end it.
Keep it going, D.
End it. We already talked about the Lesnar Reigns Joe segment. Akira Tozawa teamed up with Cedric Alexander to defeat Neville and Noam Dar. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Neville got pinned, which is, to be honest, I can't recall the last time that happened, although I haven't watched a lot of 205 Live. I want to say that that's the first time he's been pinned in a number of months. So maybe they are starting to cool off on Neville. So we'll see. The main event, Bray Wyatt defeats Seth Rollins. Again, I did not care about this match. They could have put on a 5-star match. I wouldn't have known. After the matchup...
Well, then it wouldn't be a 5-star match.
Huh? Well, other people could say, oh, you got to check out this match.
Well, you would know.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, if the match was that good, they would have won you over.
I was like half watching it. The Miz Taraj attacked. Dean Ambrose made the save with the steel chair. And whatever. Then we find out that Kurt Angle's revealing his announcement. Whatever his secret is.
His secret is he told his person that he
loves somebody.
So it's his wife. Or Dixie Carter.
There's a lot of speculation. It's either Stephanie McMahon or Dixie Carter.
Or Karen Jarrett.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
It would actually be hilarious if it was Karen.
I don't think they're going to go that route.
Man, you remember TNA when all that shit went down? It was Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle,
Angle was playing the long con. He got his wife back.
I'll tell you exactly why I remember that part so specifically is because whenever TNA came down for their house show, Jeff Jarrett was in this studio doing an interview with my boss.
Yeah.
And that was during the time that everything was coming out.
I remember that.
And so Brandon, my boss, he made a joke about Kurt Angle waiting for him in the parking lot. Because they were like, oh, yeah, Kurt Angle's going to be fighting, and you're going to be fighting, and it's going to be great. And, hey, maybe he's waiting for you out in the parking lot. And whenever he told me that, I was like, you don't know why that's funny, but that's hilarious. And that was the reason why, because all that stuff was going down. I was like, what was his reaction when you said that? He was just like, yeah, maybe. He played it off, but interesting stuff. So any speculation on your parts who this mystery person is?
I mean, it seems like a love angle. So
Darren Young.
I mean, if they're doing the whole Triple H thing, if they're gonna fight Triple H, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't. I mean, I'm curious, but I don't really
I didn't get to see the Angle thing. Did you see
I watched some of it and I fell asleep.
I watched it.
Did you get to the Dixie parts?
I did.
How did it go?
It was weird. They didn't mention the company.
They didn't say at the bottom or
on hers it did.
Oh.
But like he said I went to a different company. He never said I went to TNA. I went
it's
to Impact.
Weird for them
they
to
showed
get
that
her
clip of the
involved
article.
to be that weird about saying it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was like former president of TNA Impact Wrestling.
I mean, she's completely divested from the company, but
they also showed that article that Kurt Angle signs with TNA Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Did she have anything decent to say, or was it just weird?
It was just he was a hard worker, but you could tell something was going wrong. But once he walked out through the curtain, you never would have known. There were times where he couldn't even move. But
Joe and AJ talked.
Yes.
Is it briefly?
A little bit, yeah. It was. I mean, WWE is known for their production, and anytime they release one of those WWE 24 things, it's going to be great. So it's worth checking out at least.
But yeah, a lot of people are thinking it's Dixie next week or whatever. Because also on Twitter, someone asked her,
why? I don't know why they would though, because she wasn't good on air in TNA.
No.
And it's not like she's some huge draw, so I don't know why they would do it.
She's not.
Probably just for the shock value. Oh my God, it's Dixie Carter. Why would they do that?
I'm gonna say I don't think it's Dixie. I just don't. I can't see why.
I'm seeing Stephanie, but I don't know why he would say "I love you" to.
Because he cares about her.
I mean, that could be like a misdirect. It may not actually be a love angle.
It's Corey Graves.
Who knows?
It's been Corey all along.
Or Karen Jarrett. One of those. Karen Angle.
There you go. So yeah, SmackDown. Over the course of the weekend, AJ Styles picked up a championship title from Kevin Owens, becoming the new United States champion.
I wonder why they did that.
Probably just to shake things up a little bit.
I mean, they do that every.
There's a lot of speculation.
Every now and then they switch titles at a house show.
Yeah. There was speculation that maybe Owens is working injured, or maybe he needs to take some time off, something along those lines. He's said, or he's denied those claims, but you never know. Regardless, AJ Styles is the new champion. He comes out, issues an open challenge. John Cena answers it.
There was a pretty good pop for that.
Yeah.
AJ and
just because the matches that they've had have been so good. I was more than happy to watch that match, and they start getting to go through the presentations.
I knew something was up. I felt like something was going to happen.
Yeah. Kevin Owens comes out, hey, wait a second. You don't even deserve to be here. No one wants you here. No one wants to see you. And, they go through their stuff. Rusev comes in, and they brawl, which sets up for the main event being a tag match play, a holla holla.
Rusev crushes.
Rusev.
Hey, Rusev's a good-looking dude. Gotta say that with
he's
the beard.
Pretty fly.
Yeah, he's pretty fly.
Joe Cool. After that,
Kali.
Nope. New Joe Cool. After that, we got to see Jinder Mahal going up against Ty Dillinger. Jinder gets the win, and then he says, next week on SmackDown, I'm going to be bringing the Punjabi prison with me to show everyone around.
His people.
Yep. After that, we got to see Xavier Woods defeat Jey Uso. Interesting part about that match is that the remaining members of New Day and Jimmy Uso were both kicked out. Saying, you got to get out of here. Which you don't see that often, for everyone to get kicked out. So I like that. There was a fatal 5-way elimination match made for Battleground: Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Tamina, and Lana. Number 1 contendership to go up against Naomi. So be on the lookout for that. Looked like we were going to have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin, but the match never got started. There was a big brawl.
I'm on this.
On this feud?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
They really, really, really know how to take hot call-ups and just make them
cool them down instantly.
Make them feel like everybody else on the fucking roster.
Yep.
Be careful with that shit.
Yep. Can
you think of one call-up that who has gained anything from getting called up? Because everyone, like, look at Bayley. Everyone was fucking dying over Bayley, and now she's just a part of the roster, and she got there in record time. Nobody gives a fuck.
At the moment, the only one I can think of is Samoa Joe.
Well,
when he was, but before the number one contendership match, you wouldn't be able to say
heat him back up, but he didn't sustain his overness.
Balor did good until he got hurt.
Yeah,
that was quick, just like anybody else too. Though.
Well, now, but when he first got up and he got that belt, and he got hurt.
True.
Yeah, they bring him up and they're just like, whatever. We'll see where we can fit you in.
Joe's the lucky one.
I get that you don't necessarily want to put them like right in the like main event scene or something, but they have to develop some sort of strategy to sustain their popularity and sustain their overness instead of fucking like distinguishing it every time.
Even though he only had like 3 matches, you could make a claim for Braun Strowman.
That's true.
I mean, he would be the only one.
I mean, he's not like an NXT guy, but he is someone who...
Joe's the lucky one right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's luck. It's like he got an opportunity and he's like, yeah.
He took the ball and ran.
He's like, yeah, I got the goods. Just give me the chance to take the shot.
Mm-hmm. Natalya and Tamina defeat Becky Lynch and Charlotte. We got to see a backstage segment with Sami Zayn, Maria, and Mike Kanellis, where they were demanding an apology for Sami Zayn.
I missed this.
Yeah, they were demanding an apology from Sami Zayn. He's like, look, I apologized last week. I apologized the week before. I'm not giving you a third apology. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And then... I
mean, he liked that. He likes their message.
Yeah. And then...
maybe not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. And then Maria grabbed a vase of flowers or whatever. And
she slapped him and he hit him with a vase.
Yeah.
It's about time for them to. I mean, I know they've been there for 3 or 4 weeks, but get them in the ring and start the program.
I think we're going to be seeing that next week, because on Talking Smack, Sami Zayn was like, I'm all about love, but you know what I really love? I'm going to love kicking Mike's ass. So looks like they're going to have a match fairly soon.
If you think Mike wasn't with Maria, he would be in NXT. Instead of, if they called him and they put him up on SmackDown automatically with Maria.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know enough about him. I haven't, I'm aware of him, but I haven't seen enough of his matches to get any kind of opinion on him at the moment.
He was brought in I
only know him when he was in Ring of Honor. Before that, I didn't know him.
But when he first brought in, he was sort of like not the antithesis, but he was like not a work rate guy when being a work rate guy was still really important in Ring of Honor, and he was like one of the first examples of them like going for like character work over work rate, and so he was like very like not well received by Ring of Honor at first. He's still like to a good percentage of those fans still never really fit in and was never really what Ring of Honor was about. Of course, Ring of Honor is a whole different fucking thing than what it used to be these days. It is not. It's just a different beast. So
it's a shell of what it once was.
It's just different. I wouldn't say. I mean,
changed.
Yeah.
I remember when he was part of the Kingdom, and I remember when they split up and it was just him and Maria.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
After that, we got to see another Fashion Files segment, and then AJ Styles teaming up with John Cena to defeat Kevin Owens and Rusev Crush. So, anything to take away from SmackDown? It was kind of and I was trying to fall asleep, but I ended up not. So with that, let's go into the hot topics for the week. The biggest topic that's going on is the situation surrounding Paige and Alberto El Patron, Alberto Del Rio, whatever you want to call him. Apparently, they were involved in some sort of dispute at an airport. Police were called. No files were made at the time. But at the moment, Alberto has been suspended indefinitely by Global Force Wrestling pending the investigation.
Shoot, then what are they going to strip him of the title?
Well, originally it made it seem like he was the aggressor, and Paige released a statement earlier today saying, no, he wasn't the aggressor. I was.
Yeah, but TMZ like counter released those tapes of like the incident, and like that is not like.
And it was an audio, correct?
It's audio.
Because I heard an audio clip. I didn't know if there was a video or not.
It really sounds like either.
She was saying, I'm pressing charges against, or no, I'm just trying to get away from you. Go ahead and call the cops.
He's been doing coke for 2 days straight. Yeah, it's like it's not a good scene. I mean, Global Force did the right thing. You got to take him off until you sort out if he's like, if he's
you can't take
not.
these types of things lightly.
Nah, you really can't. And, until they get to the bottom of if he's guilty or not, then, take him
careful.
off.
I mean, she may be even released from WWE. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's inevitable. I think as soon as the WWE gets the opportunity where they can do it justifiably, they're going to, because she's still out on injury or something of that nature.
What was that thing that?
And they're making a movie about her life, which I don't know why.
Well, they aren't the Rock's company or whatever it is.
Yeah. And what was that thing where it was like at the pay-per-view one that was it Slammiversary or whatever? Paige was in the audience with a mask or whatever she said.
Supposedly that was her.
Watching his match.
Yeah. Paige's brother has lashed out on his social media account saying that Alberto is an abuser. He's,
I mean, there have been a lot
of claims.
Yeah, there's been a lot of photos of her taken off of social media where there's like a lot of like visible bruising and stuff, and people are, it's not a good scene. It's really not. It's probably
married, huh?
No,
not yet. They're dating? They're still engaged.
They've probably both got some regrettable tattoos, but it's just not a good scene, man. Like, they probably would be a lot better off away from each other, but
it's two combustible elements.
Those types of situations always seem to like draw into each other instead of doing the thing they should do.
He needs to be careful because with all this stuff going on and see what's going on, they may, I don't know, take the children. He has a child, right?
He has multiple children, I believe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look good for him. And like, I mean, I would be the first to say that like, whenever he got fired and like, it was the whole thing with him, like knocking that dude out over being like racist comments or whatever. I was like one of the first people who was like, yeah, fuck a bunch of racist bullshit. Like, I've got no problem with him cleaning some dude's clock over being a racist prick. But when you take someone's side like that and then you hear like allegations like this, it really makes me take a step back and be like, well, is that exactly what happened there? Or like, it
causes doubt.
Is Del Rio just like a raging dude he's ready to throw with people like all the fucking time, like coked up and ready to fucking, it's, who knows? I guess we'll eventually know.
He's going to burn a lot of bridges.
I mean, if he hasn't already, the fact that he cut that promo after Slammiversary where he's basically saying, F WWE, and, now he's calling out Triple H and a few others.
He's not going back.
No, he's not going to be back ever. Paige will be lucky if she's back at all. I mean, they're spiraling downward, and I don't know. I hate seeing it happen, but on the other hand, it's like I can't tell them what to do. They're not going to listen to anyone. They're going to do their own.
And you put them together, and it has like a crazy, reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak like too like. I don't want to come across like we know the situation and we're like saying like, well, they're both just, just need to get away from each other. Like, they're both equally to blame. I don't know. It may be all him. It may be all her. I don't fucking know the situation.
Yeah.
But it definitely does not look good. It definitely looks
we can only go based on what we see and what we hear online.
Yeah. I mean, it does look like she's like, her tweets about it look to either be covering for him or something like that. Because there does seem to be some validity to like the abuse stuff. Like, I don't know for sure, but from the stuff that's out there, it seems to point to that,
But, man, if you were at the airport when that was happening, would you be one of those people just standing around filming that?
Oh, she wasn't. The lady who was like supposedly was like telling the lady who was supposedly like in on it was telling him to like stop following her and stuff. If you listen to the audio,
I haven't listened to it.
The lady's like,
You
hey,
hear one of
you
them
should
was
just,
like, "Hey, I'm a big fan."
yeah,
Or something like out of nowhere.
Well, the person who said that was like, hey, actually, I'm a big fan, but you should probably stop following her or whatever. Like the same person who said that was like, you stop following her. It's not.
Wow.
You gotta help the situation or whatever. And yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm curious if they have any airport security camera footage and if they would ever release something like that.
I don't know.
Because that's, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know where the TMZ stuff came from. Like, is that someone's cell phone or? Is it
yeah, I think someone recorded that and sent it out and tried to sell it or whatever. However they obtained it, they distributed it.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Yeah, there seems to be some validity to like the abuse stuff from like a lot of photos of her showing up with bruises and like a lot of the stuff that's on the audio and just that shit's not good. I hope that
I'm thinking sort whatever it is they need out. So
she probably just needs to get the fuck away from him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just two combustible elements.
She likes those bad boys.
And maybe that's what it is. She just likes bad boys, and unfortunately she got one that's a little too bad, or she's a little too bad. I don't know. I don't know the situation. I don't hang out with them. I don't know anything about them other than what I see on TV.
I'm certainly not qualified to talk about this, but it's sort of...
I'm no love doctor.
It's I think it's more than the love here. I don't know. There seems to be
psychological damage,
some other elements to this.
Psychological and physical damage, but yeah. Something that we discussed a little earlier in the show about Austin Aries. Did we cover this last week? I don't remember. No. But Austin Aries was given his release from the WWE.
I saw two different reports. I saw
there have been several.
He asked for it, and then later on, someone said online, Dave Meltzer said he didn't ask for his release or whatever. They released. I don't know.
Yeah, they released him, and he was happy about it.
So I don't know. I don't know about that either. So yeah, I did see the tweet though. It's a beautiful day. So
yeah, different reports coming out, all saying different things, but all saying that Austin Aries has been released. There's speculation that he wasn't very well perceived backstage. There's some where he wanted more for himself and was told that he wasn't going to get it. And
who knows? All I know is I bet a lot of people are contacting him.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Dude, come on.
A lot of people who's left WWE, like the youth shoots and all that stuff. And like, hey, we can get you in here. We can pay you this and, just spill the beans.
Yeah. Who knows? But I don't know. We'll see where he goes from there. Maybe he goes back to Impact. Maybe he calls it a career. Maybe he goes to New Japan, somewhere like that. We'll see. Next topic we have, for those of you who may have noticed, WWE is no longer using pyro at their pay-per-view or televised events, which is really weird. I know that for a while they had stopped doing it. Then they brought it back, and now they've ceased doing it again. Supposedly,
I only notice it when someone does a part of their entrance that they time to the pyro, and the pyro's not, like when Lesnar does the thing.
Lesnar does it. AJ Styles does his thing, and the Cesaro and Sheamus, where the music stops, and then the boom, and then the lights come on. This time it's just lights on. Okay, here we go. We're going.
Yeah, if it's not one of those where I know that they time their entrance to it, like I don't even notice.
Yeah, and so supposedly the speculation reasoning is pyro is not needed for the wrestlers. So
it's a cost cutting thing.
Yeah, cost cutting. They don't really need it. Who cares? And I don't know. Like I miss the days where pay-per-views had their own stages and the pyro hypes up the crowd. I feel like it's becoming, like we've talked in the past, where it's not a pay-per-view, it's just a continuation of Raw that you're watching on the network, or a continuation of SmackDown that you're watching on the network. It just doesn't have that big feel anymore. But maybe that's because they're doing 12, 13 shows a year on the network. Yeah, a month.
12,
Also
13
a
shows
month.
Also, yeah, I was starting to get a little tired. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be bringing that back for a while. Maybe they'll do it for special occasions, obviously WrestleMania, stuff like that. But or maybe like if Chris Jericho returns, they'll do it. Who knows? For those of you who are interested in the Mae Young Classic, they are going to be having a Parade of Champions airing this Thursday, which is normally the day we release.
Where's the parade going to be at?
The show. It's going to be on Facebook Live.
No, I mean, where's the parade taking place?
On Facebook Live.
I know on Facebook Live.
Yes.
What city?
Full Sail.
Yeah.
Oh, on the streets of Full Sail, they're doing a parade?
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Parade of Champions. It's going to be taking place Thursday on Facebook Live.
Cars, they're going to be waving to
Just go to the WWE Facebook page, and you'll get notified.
Maybe
or whatever.
throwing candies
And
and beads.
what is this? Because I don't know what this is.
I'm thinking it's similar to how they did the Cruiserweight Classic, where they introduced the people.
But they're not all champions, right?
Just go with it. I don't know.
Fine, man. I don't care.
I don't know.
I just thought you. I actually didn't hear this, and I actually thought you knew exactly what it was.
No, that's pretty
It
much
probably
all the
could be a real
information I have.
parade if you think about it.
It might be. I'm getting tired.
I hope for Tyler's sake it is a real parade.
That would be awesome.
They all
have one of
have
those big
they'll all have
balloons and
parades. They'll
stuff.
all throw candy and have lights.
Yep. I would enjoy it.
If they had big balloons for each person, that'd be pretty dope.
There you go.
Yep.
They get 3 balloons each.
No, like those
And then they
big,
have to
like,
run-
figure like balloons.
Yeah, like
the,
a big,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like a big
Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Yeah,
Garfield.
Snoopy said Snoopy at the same time.
Apparently, that's the only one we know.
Yeah.
There is that Garfield.
Yeah, definitely hope they have Snoopy.
I was going more Mario Kart.
Oh.
I was going to say they each get 3 balloons. It's going to be tied around their waist, and then they have to run around the arena and
They
try
could
and
do
pop
that.
one. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be taking place Thursday, Facebook Live. The first 4 episodes of the classic will be available on demand beginning August 28th. Then they're going to be doing
4 more the next week, and then like a live. The finals is like live at the night of SmackDown the next week.
There you go.
Something like that.
They're going to have a new women's champion.
Maybe. I don't know. So that's all the hot topics I have. You guys have anything else?
No,
No, it's going to do it. All right.
not really.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to submit your questions and comments about the questions that we posed over the course of the show.
We got to get off in that ass.
Yeah, there you go. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video. Subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, beyond podplayer.fm and Satchel. All you have to do is search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
The podcast is on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel. And Tyler is at Tyler_Aber.
There you go. For the podcast crew, I am Dana Herron.
I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm Doomfist.
We'll catch you all next week.